Well, hello, my overwhelmed moms. Welcome to Calm Mom Conversations. I am your host, Stacey Johnson, and this is our Sundays where we come together to talk about some techniques or tools to help you become or find a way to find a little bit of calm in our busy weeks. Our busy weeks can be packed with um, schedules of running kids places, taking them to doctor's appointments, uh, school events. And then there's the invisible load that no one sees. You know, um, all of the manipulating schedules to make everything work together, the planning of the dinners, the planning of when you're going to get the housework done, planning of laundry, all of these things. And no one talks about those invisible things that we have to do. And near me, the weather has been pretty bad. And so schools have been out. And so that adds sometimes stress, especially if you are a working mom out of the home, because then you're having to maybe think about, who's going to help with childcare if your children are in that younger age where they might need uh, childcare when you have to work if there's a snow day. Some of you do not have that, you know, probably dilemma because their weather may not create that. But then, so that causes a little bit more overwhelmed to us. And so I wanted to bring these somatic Sundays to you, especially going into the work week, because our techniques that I share with you on these somatic Sundays are designed for you to implement somewhere during your busy day. They do not have to, you do not need equipment to do them. You do not need a quiet space. Quiet spaces are better, but you don't need them. You can do them in your car, waiting in the car line. You could do it, if you were in the doctor's office waiting for the doctor. You could do it first thing in the morning. You can do it going before you go into a meeting. You can do it whenever you feel the need. And what my idea is that I'm going to build this toolkit. So each Sunday, I'm going to present two different techniques, and then you can choose the ones that fit your schedule or fit the way you feel better. So you take what you want, leave the rest, grab your cup of coffee, your favorite drink. Today's mine's water. Take a breath and be still. That's what this channel is about. You know, busy moms, I'm with you. Today I had a celebration for my daughter, and now it's my time to rest with you. So we're going to do this together because we're in this together. There's so many times that even when my kids were little, I just wanted a space. I just wanted somewhere where I could, talk to some girlfriends about what's happening or what techniques they use to help them get through that busy moments. And so that's why I created this channel, was a place for you or for all of us to come together and just take a moment for us. And again, it does not have to take long. I've shared each Sunday, I've been sharing techniques from, I am a therapist. I've been a therapist for 25 years, but now I help women in a bigger capacity because I can see more women. Instead of just one on one therapy, I can do more at a time, but I still bring some techniques. And these are, they're just cards. I don't think you can purchase it anywhere because I got it from a therapy shop. And you need a license to purchase those things. So, but they're things that I think are also useful because you can implement them anywhere you want. You do not need equipment and you don't need a special place to do them. So we're going to go ahead and pick two that we have done or, have not done before. We've done in the past, and you can go back to any of the somatic exercises lives in the channel to see the other exercises that I have done each week. And make sure you subscribe. The subscribe button is down there. Make sure you subscribe so that you know when we are going live. Yes, Sally, I go live every Sunday to share different techniques, and the lives are always refound in the channel. You can go to the live section, and all the lives are always there. So, anytime you want to come to that. And also, if you guys can do me a favor, is in the section of the channel, there's a post section. And I've been doing once a week kind of surveys or like a poll to kind of get an idea of what the audience would like to see. So go back to those posts and complete the poll and share whether other things that you would like to see as a busy, overwhelmed mom. What are some things that you would like to see? Because I would like to try to add some more things to this channel and some more opportunities for all of us to come together. Just a space, again, grab a cup of coffee, a glass of water, a glass of wine. I don't care. Your favorite beverage. And let's just sit down and have some genuine conversations. All right. So let's see what we've got today. All right. We've got humming is our first one. So what I usually do is I read why this is important or why it is helpful, and then I go through all the steps one by one. So humming involves producing a continuous sound by vibrating vocal cords with closed lips. It promotes relaxation, reduces stress, and calms the mind. Make it a simple and effective technique to incorporate into daily routines for relaxation and stress relief. So again, everything that I'm giving you, you just have to use your body is and no equipment. So you'll find a quiet place because if you are humming, you don't want to bother other people. But you find a quiet and comfortable space. You sit or stand comfortably with a straight posture. You're going to inhale deeply through your nose. Close your lips and gently hum as you exhale. Mm, mm, mm. And focus on the vibration in your throat and in your chest. Experiment with different pitches, different tones, and continue humming for relaxation. Combine breathing exercises. So, any technique that I did give you in regards to breathing, you can always add the humming to it. And you just can kind of continue to do that for a few minutes and make sure you conclude with, a mindful breath, making sure that you're aware of what your breath is, so breathing in, holding it, and make sure you kind of feel what the breath feels like. That's what mindfulness is being more aware of that moment. And our other one is push the wall. So pushing the wall is a simple and versatile exercise for upper body strength, targeting the arms, chest, and shoulders. It can be adapted for various fitness levels and goals, offering a convenient way to build muscle without equipment or a gym. And when we are pushing a wall, a lot of times that pressure of pushing can release that stress. And you can even imagine that you're putting the stress into that wall, whatever you're kind of feeling. You can think about those feelings that are not serving you, that are those lower level feelings of like anger, frustration, overwhelmed, stress, fear. Because all of those kind of feelings, when we're not dealing with them all the time, they build up. And as those feelings build up, that's one of the reasons we become overwhelmed as well. So an easy way to add to this is, so first we're going to stand facing the wall with our feet and shoulder width apart. And then you're going to place palms flat against the wall at shoulder height, spreading fingers for better grip. You'll engage your core muscles and push against the wall, focusing on pressing evenly with both hands. Hold the position briefly, feeling the resistance in your arms and chest. And you're going to repeat that for 8 to 12 reps. And you can increase the intensity of pushing as well. But one other step that I always encourage when I work with overwhelmed women is when you're pushing against that wall, identify the feeling that you want to release. So, whatever's been causing you to feel overwhelmed. And sometimes we have a hard time identifying what we're actually overwhelmed about, except for everything that we do feels overwhelming. And so, if you are able to identify, like, you're frustrated that the kids aren't listening, or you're frustrated that you've had like 6 snow days since winter break, and everybody being inside is stir crazy, and we're just feeling kind of because the weather's bad, or that's how I know that, I've been feeling lately, is that the weather has been so crummy and so frigid cold that I can't get outside and walk as normally. You just kind of get that hibernated blah feeling. And so identify that feeling and push it against that wall. And so those are the 2 techniques for this week. And I see there is another question. Yes, Mary. Yes, pushing the wall. You can do it as the best is like shoulder, making sure you're standing right way, and you can gently do it. You can do it. There has been the better results are standing, not sitting down. I don't use push the wall very often because I do exercise in the evenings, and so I use some of these other techniques during my busy days. If I'm having a busy day, I use a lot of the breathing techniques that I teach, and I like to just get very mindful in my moments. Mindfulness, we will do a whole lesson. I'll do a whole thing on mindfulness, because mindfulness is really a great way, because when we're in the moment, because a lot of our thoughts, that things that make us overwhelmed, are also comes from thoughts from the past, or thinking about the future. So I do a whole thing about thoughts and mindfulness, but you want to be very aware of what you're feeling at that moment, so that you can try to release it that way. All right. So I appreciate you guys coming to Somatic Sundays. And again, make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss anything. Go back to the community post and fill out those uh, surveys that I've been putting in the channel. But then again, in the description is a link if you want a coffee chat, water, grab your favorite beverage and meet with me for a one-on-one 15-minute just chat. Let me know some of the things that overwhelm you and what things that you would like to see, or we can just chit chat about life as a busy mom. And then if you want, there's also a free guide that's in there too in the descriptions. You can grab that. You can download it. It's a free guide, and it gives you a kind of like a checklist to see how overwhelmed you really are, and what things you're relating to, and gives you some journaling prompts, some just starter tips to find ways to find that peace within your day. And then the other thing that I do is there is a link down there that I have this already system in place that helps take away some of that overwhelm, because it's helping me build my generational wealth and secure my own revenue. And it's a simple process. And if you want more information about that technique or that tip, the way I support my nervous system that way, that link is in the description as well. All right. Thanks again for being on Calm Mom Conversations, and I'll see you next week.